Okay, I started recording. So, all right, guys. So let's start with the Call of Duty. Uh, our thoughts, and then we go to Battlefield. Then we go to the E3. So, Juanma, Ekusairo Naito. What do you think of Call of Duty as a game? And um, I don't know if you see something else in it. Why don't you start?
Well, Call of Duty, being honest, I didn't get into Call of Duty much until I started playing Modern Warfare with my friends.
Right.
And at the beginning, I didn't like it because I just saw it as another shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really liked about the game is when I started playing the story, that it was actually a very well written campaign. It was an interesting story. Like, who wouldn't want to see the Eiffel Tower get blown up, obviously, in a game, not in real life?
Mm-hmm.
But I like that they decided to break away from their comfort zone and they decided to go futuristic with their approach, which is some people say good, some people say bad, but at least they're trying something new. But we also have the problem that now they're trying to get on this battle royale hype train, and
Right.
they said that for Black Ops 4, that they would not have a single player campaign and that they would instead include a battle royale mode.
Yeah. How do you feel about no campaign in this Black Ops game?
Well, the thing is, if you're gonna try to make your game competitive or an esport or whatever, then that's perfectly fine. For example, League of Legends doesn't need a campaign. Paladins doesn't need a campaign, but they do have extensive lore.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with a game like Call of Duty is like, for example, if I buy a game like Call of Duty, it's usually to play at my house or online with friends. But what if for some reason my internet connection is down? In that case, the game I bought, paid $60 for,
Mm-hmm.
is instantly useless.
Yeah.
I can play by myself. I can't do anything.
Right.
So I believe that we do need to go back to the point where games used to have a focus on their stories more than the multiplayer, because the multiplayer came as a part of the game experience. But now they're trying to do it more focused on the multiplayer and ignoring the single player aspect.
Right. So the actual campaign is out, and for me, I think the after Modern Warfare 3, which was okay game, but Black Ops has one of the coolest campaign history, such as Black Ops 1 and 2, before the futuristic came over, and taking it out, like you said, it's like an issue here. Um, we all know that in Puerto Rico, the internet could be a little bit of an asshole. Yeah, it's reality. I mean, here we still have really good internet, but if it's down or there's averia, just how we call it here, um, yeah, we might have a problem with a $60 game, in which it's going actually it's going to like focus on the online, such as the um team deathmatch, zombies, and the new one that is battle royale. Now they're entering in some competition here with Fortnite and PUBG. Now we have to be real here. PUBG is $30 and Fortnite is for free. That's a battle royale. It only has one mode, but it's I think there's more modes if you see Fortnite in that aspect. In that way. I mean, there's ways to play the game. There's also co-op in there. But I mean, we're paying $60, and then I don't know if there's gonna be loot boxes or microtransaction. We all know how Activision is this, greedy, uh, implanting something that it's to get out from our wallets, and I really hate that. I mean, it's something that we pay $60 for, and then like, okay, am I actually having fun with the game here? Because that's the main reason. Because ever since, I mean, what was the last good Call of Duty? For me, I think it was at least Black Ops One. I I think that was an okay but above average. But damn, all these Call of Duties, like even Advanced Warfare was shit. Um, Call of Duty Ghost was the worst one. Um, what's the one that came last year? Call of Duty. It was World War Two, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh my God. They try to, because the strongest thing about Call of Duty are the zombies, and they just try to like get in it in every game right now. Like I know Treyarch has the better zombie mode, but I mean, if you guys going to like, the story is in the zombies, is in the zombies. Oh, I'm like, okay, but I don't care about these characters that you like. I mean, you promoted more the Royale than the actual, the things that you actually started with in the beginning. I don't know. I mean, I see Call of Duty, like, I'm not trying to bash it. I mean, because of this channel, it was a Call of Duty channel back in the day. It was all shooter games, and I started with Call of Duty Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2 and 3, Killzone 3, Battlefield 3, Ghost Recon, Future Soldier, Medal of Honor. Those kinds of shooter games that inspire me to to freaking do this channel, because I was a shooter gamer. I was that kind of like a gamer that um, got addicted to it at the time. And I see Call of Duty, and I'm like, wow, it's Call of Duty has the competition that time, but now it's just like a repetitive thing that's been going on years and years. The same games with good graphics, and they just copy and paste the same thing, and it's just like there is a thing that is called um, man, franchise fatigue. That is when you know you get too much about something, and they just keep on releasing every year something that it happened with Assassin's Creed at some point. And I'm really good that Ubisoft stopped doing that and just like you know give it a break, and then come back like at least 2 years prior, you know 2 years off. It's like they need to give it a break. I know there's Infinity War, which is a piece of shit one. There's Treyarch, and I think there's a third one, right? I don't remember. It's the developers. There's Treyarch,
Yeah,
Infinity War, and there's someone else.
Activision. Was it Activision?
Yeah,
Um,
Activision is a publisher. Those are the nitty gritty publishers. It's like EA, but there's also Dice, and so yeah, guys. That's how I feel about Call of Duty. That doesn't mean I won't actually buy a Call of Duty game these days, but not totally interested, because the fact that I like my campaign. I like to play with the CPU. I mean, I'm a really old guy, not really old, but I mean it's like I come from work. I don't want to hear kids screaming at me, or you know what I mean, man. It's I just want to sit and shoot and play the campaign. Let's see how it is. The story, it's something that it's still in me. I like the story. I like the story driven, even if it's a linear shooter game. I mean, like every Call of Duty game has been that way. I mean, it's why.
Yeah,
I'll still play zombies because I love zombies. But those are my thoughts.
yeah, I agree with you. And the thing is, they're going into a very dangerous area right now because they're gonna do their battle royale mode.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine and dandy. They're trying to follow a trend.
Yeah.
They should realize that Fortnite is slowly but surely killing PUBG.
It
Like
is. Yeah, it is.
PUBG has been losing a lot of viewers, a lot of players, and they're all moving to Fortnite.
Yeah.
And the reason is because why would you buy PUBG when Fortnite is
It's
free?
free. Yeah. And it
And
has more stuff.
the other factor is that let's be honest, Fortnite is way more interesting than PUBG
Yeah.
because when you see two people fighting, building at a breakneck speed,
Yeah.
it looks way cooler than just two guys shooting at each other.
Exactly. It's way more fun to
Plus,
see that.
plus, Fortnite is smart because they are like this huge advertisement because you had the John Wick skin.
Yeah.
Recently, they added the Thanos quest event
That
where
was
you can
really
pick
cool.
the Infinity Gauntlet and literally become Thanos.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes.
So the thing is, they really shouldn't focus so much on the battle royale and instead give us a story because I'm not saying that the trend will die, but chances are not many people are gonna be able to keep it going for long.
Exactly. That is a really good factor right there because it's we have seen zombie games dying. We've seen hero shooters like Overwatch like dying slowly. There's Overwatch, there's Paladins and other um, MOBA slash hero shooter. Um, there we have seen the team deathmatch like literally no one like it's like team deathmatch for me is like when you go to Battlefield Conquest, which is a lot better, but that also been slowly downgrading and being forgotten. We've been seeing others uh, like the genre of battle royale. It could go it could go in a way that people may forget, but at the same time there has to be something else that replaces that thing. That it's so what is the other thing that will like replace battle royale these days that I know that I will wear out that I wear out. I mean, like people are gonna get bored. They're going to be like, oh, there's this new thing that people are really interested, but what is that other thing that competes with the battle royale these days? There has to be something. I mean, in the future that that kills it or not kill it. And, it's like people will forget and like move on. But it's very hard for this one because zombies is still there, but zombies are in that like franchise fatigue thing. It's like people are bored of zombie games and zombie modes and all that. Later on, we'll be seeing the battle royale being in the same footsteps, but not as fast as those kinds of multiplayer and co-op. Um, so I really do not know what exactly is going to replace the battle royale mode. So we just have to wait. I really like battle royale mode. It's hard. it's it takes some practice. That's why there's a lot of people not going into it, because it's just, this is a piece of shit, I died way too fast, and then you get out, you get into another game. Not a lot of people get into this stuff unless if they get a little bit good with the practice and all that. It's debatable. Like, people don't like it because the fact they suck, or it's the way around, or they just, well, it sucks because it's this and that. It's well, they could blame PUBG being buggy, or Fortnite being, I don't know, cartoony. You know, personal preference of the genre itself. But as in terms of gameplay, it's something that it's a boom. Really, it's something that it came out from a movie. I mean, let's take for example Hunger Games, or the actual battle royale from Japan, the Japanese movie. We could take it. I don't know. Divergent. That's kind of like a battle royale thing, but it's more like a Hunger Game type of video game. But if you're gonna take that into a next level, I mean, that is up to another developer to at least make up for something else than battle royale. It's hard to just replace something that is really good. We have seen hero shooter going really, forgotten. Like, have you seen someone actually talking about today about Overwatch? Or there's still the people who still play Overwatch, and I've seen it on Twitch, on streaming, on Mixer and YouTube. They still play Overwatch, but they're like in 10th place right now in live streaming. You see PUBG and Fortnite being 1 and 2, 2 and 1. And I think PUBG right now it's like at least third or fourth in line, still making. I think I'm really surprised about this is Grand Theft Auto, that is still there. Like, there's actually people live streaming it, and it's actually in the top 5 or top 10. And it's really surprising when a multiplayer like that actually, it's totally unreplaceable. It's hard. Now for Call of Duty coming to this one, it's like you're entering in a really dangerous zone right here. You have no campaign. You have, I don't know how the zombies are gonna look like. I mean, I know how they're gonna look like. It's the gameplay itself, the story that you guys are going to bring to us. Battle Royale, how is it gonna be? Which is a little bit because people are used to third-person shooting kind of, Battle Royale. This one is actually first-person, in which it's different. Yeah, I like it in the fact that you still with your format as a first-person shooter, and let's see how it turns out, because people may not like the first-person shooter view because it's kind of like a disadvantage, etc., etc. So, moving on. Let's talk about Battlefield. There's a lot we need to discuss here. I've been seeing the trailer over and over. Let's see if I missed something, and it looks great. I mean, I'm a Battlefield guy. It doesn't mean I hate Call of Duty, but Battlefield has its own reason to be really on top on this one. So what are your thoughts, Ekusairo?
Well, so far I've seen the trailer, I think, 3 times.
Yeah.
And honestly, I loved it. Like, aesthetically pleasing. The gameplay looked pretty fluid. The way the characters acted, like the voice acting was really good.
Yeah.
And just the situation that they seem to throw you in looked very over the top, but not so over the top that it feels unreal. Like, I love when they're storming the house and suddenly they see the tanks and they jump out the window. And all of that is believable to a certain extent for soldiers. And I love just the way they presented it. because most games nowadays they feel like really murky.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they try to see, oh, look how much brown I can put in my game while I'm running it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
But the colors look very vivid
Yeah.
for a war. And overall, the shooting looked fluid. Overall, I think it's going to be a good experience for Battlefield because last Battlefield game was amazing because they said, okay, we've been straying a bit from our original style. Let's take it back to what we know how to do best.
Exactly. Exactly. So, there's a possibility that, not possibility, they said it, that there won't be no, you know, uh, the loot boxes and the DLCs. They said something, right? About, they're not going to charge you. This is not a pay to win. Finally, um, this is a play to win. Actually, it's like an RPG. You actually gain some power within your gameplay. Uh, you grind, let's say like that. You grind, and you can achieve what you actually want based on what you have. So I really like that. At least they're not throwing at us like, you have to buy this and that, or the DLC and the premium, and you know that the whole debacle and the whole backlashing from the Battlefront series, Star Wars. Oh my goodness. I think they actually learned their lesson, but I'm not going to let my guard down yet, because they said something last year with the Star Wars Battlefront that they weren't going to do this, and that, and they actually did it, and people were very pissed off. And like, we cannot live with the lies, we cannot play with the lies, and we cannot buy your product with your lies. EA, like, come on, stay true to your word. We don't want lies, because that's what that that is why you are right here right now. Like, hey, we're not gonna do this and that, but I'm really hoping that it's true. Stick to your word and say as you promise. Promise as you say it, because I'm really tired of, like, EA being greedy, just like Activision these days. I just hate it, because we pay $60 for a game, and like, yeah,
Yeah, but
it's very expensive. I mean, like, and I know you guys are bringing to us a bigger game more than Call of Duty. Let's just say you bringing us campaign, you're bringing us a co-op, you're bringing us the obviously the conquest, the everything else, and you guys said a little bit more about the battle royale that you guys are going to at least try to uh, get into the actual competition. So I like this variety in your game. So I hope for the best, really, because it looks good, and at least in the campaign, let's talk a little bit about that. I think it's going to be a female protagonist, in which I really like. I really love female protagonists. There's a lot of people who don't like it, because it's so unrealistic. It's the war. It's always been men and all this and that. I'm like, guys, come on, like. There were women in the war too, like in World War II. Let's just be real here. Read books for once, or educate yourself before you just start shooting at. It doesn't make sense. They say like, oh, it's so unrealistic. I'm like, do you think that even World War II zombie was real? Hmm? Was that real
first,
to you? It's it's they're at least they're trying to bring us a lot of modes in this game. it's worth the $60 here. You know, it's worth it. You, even though the campaign is like 5 hour or 6 hour campaign, I'm good with it. I don't have a problem, but it's worth it's better than nothing. I mean, that's what I think. Anything else you want to say?
Well, yeah, regarding the loot boxes, like, I don't think loot boxes are a problem themselves. I think the problem is when you make them give you an advantage over other players. For example,
Mm-hmm.
if it's physical, like, oh, your character looks different or a different skin, then loot boxes are perfectly fine. But the moment when you start putting in like, oh, power ups, that's when you get a
Yeah,
problem.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's basically what Battlefront, Battlefront 2, actually did. It's but gamers don't like that. You and me are really old gamers, and it's something that's played to win. It's something that I bust my ass to achieve this thing. It's not that with my money I have the power in the world that I could beat anyone, I could get anyone, anything. I can get power ups, weapons. It's so unfair. It's like the rich people have the advantage over poor people. That's how it is. But we cannot afford it. That is unacceptable. It's something that it's gambling, just like a lot of people been saying. But I really like this Battlefield. I hope for the best for the campaign. Um, Now for the battle royale, we've been talking about this. I mean, the battle royale genre, it's been like a hit this year, and how Battlefield will actually make it. I mean, I know Dice, Frostbite engine, right? I hope that they don't actually, you know, make it. They can make it third person, but actually can make it you know first person, but have that variety because battle royale is about your skills. It's more than just shooting around. It's more than just you know. I'm thinking about Fortnite right now. You build, you actually heal yourself. You don't have to wait for someone in your actual crew to heal you. It's something that battle royale is something very different. So in that regard, uh, I hope it will be very creative in their own way. Don't try to copy Call of Duty or PUBG or Fortnite. At least do your own thing, but actually getting in the game, like in the competition. Because if your battle royale lacks about something, that's gonna bring a lot of problems for that mode. Um, so yeah, I think those are my thoughts exactly. What else to talk about Battlefield 5?
Thing
Anything?
is, Battlefield 5 hasn't given us much info right now. Like,
Oh,
most people can speculate.
yeah, yeah, exactly. We must have to wait like E3, in which that's gonna be our next topic right now. Oh boy. So E3. Okay, there's Nintendo Direct. There are PSX. There is their own company doing their own, conference, just like Activision, EA, and even Bethesda. The Rage 2 game, right? That's Bethesda, or that's I think that's Bethesda.
Rage 2, let me
Yeah, Rage
see.
2. Yeah.
Let's see. It's been developed by Shift. No, wait, that's God Eater too. Yeah, Bethesda.
Yeah, okay, published by Bethesda then. Okay, so yeah, they actually like threw a CG trailer and actual you know, I think they threw another thing, but I don't think it's I think it was a gameplay or some CGI, but I don't remember. But yeah, is E3 becoming irrelevant these days? What do you think about that, Ekusairo Naito?
Well, I don't think it's becoming irrelevant because yes, we can have a lot of info at our hands, but let's face it, usually we leave out of a free wanting more than we thought we wanted going in.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with a free is sometimes they make huge promises. Like for example, Final Fantasy VII Remake,
Mm-hmm.
which looks beautiful, but they just announced it's gonna get delayed until like 2020, possibly.
For the next gen, I guess.
Yeah, so the thing is, E3, I've always loved it, especially Nintendo's presentations,
Mm-hmm.
because they get as creative as they want,
They do.
and we do usually get good info out of them. Like for example, I don't know if you remember when they announced God of War, everybody lost it.
Totally lost it. Damn, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like when they announced Metroid Prime 4. They only
Yes.
had to put the title and everybody flipped.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's the fans. There's a lot of fans of Metroid. So yeah, of course, like people are gonna go wild.
Yeah, so the thing is, they can use it both to present their hardware and what they're working on and give people a hands-on experience.
Mm-hmm.
And they can also present their future projects, but they have to be careful because, like I said, if you promise something, then make sure that you're actually gonna deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced at E3 2013, and 5 years later that we might actually get finally get the game.
Ah, yeah.
But
That's yeah. Continue.
yeah, like that's the thing. Kingdom Hearts, even though it has been in development a long time,
Yeah.
it clearly shows. Like when you see that they've taken the best things out of every single Kingdom Hearts game and put it into this game, you can see how much they were working on it. Like, for example, the flow motion from Dream Drop Distance,
Mm-hmm.
they made it useful in such an amazing way. Like, they showed a video where Sora cast ice, and he used the flow motion on the trail of ice that was left behind. So, if you're gonna do something like that, then at least make it worth the wait. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who it was. I think it was Sakurai that said that he'd rather delay a game and make it a good game
Right.
than release a half-made game
Exactly.
fast.
Yeah. Totally. Fully agree. Um. In that regard, I mean, what's been delaying games is the the game needs to be polished. The engines actually change to like mostly every single year now. Um, so I can get that E3, today. I mean, like Sony, they basically like, yeah, we have these four games left for this E3. I don't think it's that's gonna be it. I mean, like, I think there's more to their conference. But they actually said, I'm like, okay, all right, Sony, they just let me, if you're going to say that before E3, bring me something else other than those four games, such as Spider-Man, um, Death Stranding. The other one was, what was the other one? There were four games. Days Gone, I don't think they're gonna show it. I think there was two other games. I don't remember right now. But they kind of like, oh yeah, we gonna show this actual gameplay exactly. But they said they're gonna be other like third parties too. Um, I hope for the best for each company. I mean, the only one that has been reserving a lot is the Microsoft and Xbox brand. Um, because I mean, let's be real. E3 is an American, conference where it's actually in California, so it makes more sense because it's Xbox. Xbox is from America now versus Nintendo and Sony itself. They're Japanese companies in which they have other conferences in uh, like more than like four conferences in a year. Uh, so I mean, maybe Sony's just like saving stuff also for the PSX. Um, it's something like that. But these days, like, I really do not care about what EA wants to, show besides, what Battlefield is going to, have and all that. Because let's be real here. I mean, I don't care anymore about Need for Speed. The FIFA, it's always the same. Madden is always the same. Like, the only thing that actually sells from EA are the sports games, except for NBA Live. Now, you know, it's something that even Square Enix that they stopped doing conferences these days because they just don't know when to release their freaking goddamn games. Like, I remember the last Square Enix conference was 2016. Yeah, 2016. Like, man, you guys lag about. Like, what are you guys doing here? Like, they actually announced the new Automata. They announced the Final Fantasy. They announced a little bit more about the Kingdom Hearts. But I think like the only one that's been released that they said was near Automata. What else? Um, Kingdom Hearts 10.8. Like, I'm really getting sick about
2.8.
those. And like E3, like right now, it's beginning to be a little bit more like a shit show instead of like giving more information, giving us what we want, giving us dates, actual dates, not fake dates. Like, stay to your word because it's getting really tiring every year. And I know games are really hard to make, engines change every year, it's really hard to develop. You might know about this, Ekusairo. Not to you actually developing a game, right?
I'm trying to work on it, but I need to like find people who can work on it because,
Exactly. It takes
well,
time. It
yeah,
takes a team. It takes these indie developers just like the Days Gone right now. Their game needs a little bit of work here and there. They delayed it. I'm okay with it. I don't want to be a little bit more like State of Decay and these Xbox games that have been releasing. There's been like shit holes. Like, if you want to delay a game, don't be desperate to just release it with bugs and issues that you know uh, that it won't be really cool in my gameplay, my experience, that ruin my experience, etc. It's just when E3, as when E3 was really good, it actually comes from hardwares. Like, I'm waiting, for the conference of a new hardware for Xbox, a new hardware for uh, Sony, new hardware for Nintendo, because those are their best performance because they want to sell a hardware this time because those are their best performance if you don't, take it like 2013 Xbox performance was pretty shit. They kind of like really bad. Uh, but that's the whole thing. You try to impress people to buy your product, but if it gets delayed too many times, and you set a date, just please stay with that date. Or if just don't say anything if you know it's gonna be like delayed, because I'm really getting tired of it. E3 has been getting to be a repetitive shithole of the same games, same CGI. I really hate CGI trailers, but if they show us a really good thing, like, let's just for example, if they show a CGI trailer from Halo 6, I love Halo. There's a lot of people that don't like it, but I do. I like Halo. But a lot of people won't like the CGI trailer because they want to see gameplay. I want to see gameplay. I get you. I want to see gameplay too, but maybe they just don't have it ready for show it to you guys. Just like the Metro Prime last year, they just show you the title and that's it. But
Yeah, and the thing is, I think they're actually gonna on Nintendo's leak schedule. They did show that they were gonna make a Metroid Prime announcement, so I'm hoping that we get gameplay.
gameplay or CGI trailer. I think it's a gameplay because I think they got this one.
Yeah, and that's the
um,
thing. Nintendo has always been good at E3 because they usually deliver on their promises. And
exactly.
this year is gonna be a really good one because Nintendo in the leak schedule they showed
Smash Bros,
the-
man.
yeah, besides Smash Bros. But like they showed Pokemon. It's called Pokemon Let's Go, and apparently it's Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Ooh.
So we have no idea what these games are gonna be, but they're gonna be like the new staple on the Switch. So I'm really hoping that if they are gonna make a Generation One game, make it different because they said they were thinking about doing it like Digimon World, sort of. That isn't so much turn based.
Okay.
So we'll have to see how that goes because it will be a very interesting direction to take Pokemon because people love Pokken Tournament.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's including me. I love Pokemon Tournament, and for the fact that Nintendo actually delivers on their really good IP and exclusives. Okay, like um, there's a lot of companies right here that needs exclusive, and I'm not gonna say Sony or Xbox alone. Um, Sony needs to reserve their exclusives really tight because I've been seeing a lot of exclusives, which is they're not exclusive on PC. I've seen Nino Kuni on PC, and exclusive for consoles on the PlayStation, and I've seen other kind of Japanese games going on PC too. So if they're going to stick with the competition is actually Nintendo at this point. They need to like reserve those really good Japanese um, exclusives, just like a Yakuza. The Yakuza exclusives are really good. They're from Sega, and Sega has been doing exclusive even for Nintendo. And I would love to see that actually in the Xbox this year on E3. Give us some exclusives, real exclusives. I don't want them on PC. It's something that it's debatable because people, like Xbox releasing their stuff on PC, but it actually been killing the Xbox slowly. Not killing it, but it's like if you want it in a powerful way with the most experienced way, it's the PC. I mean, I know the Xbox One X has the power to actually make it 4K, but that's not the issue here. I can actually get a 4K PC, even though it's a little bit more expensive.
A
But
little bit.
I mean, if you actually have the amount of upgrade, like a powerful PC, all you need is one or two things. I mean, let's not look at the graphics card or the CPU brand. It's those are really expensive stuff, but it lasts. It's something that will last. It's not like a console that it gets dated and you need to like buy that's the mentality of a PC gamer. The PC Master Race always bring this up and laugh at the um of the console gamers. Well, there's pros and cons on both. You know.
I'm gonna ask you a question then.
Yeah.
If PC is so good, why isn't there a PC too?
Uh, s- uh, uh, um. That's a really good question.
That is that even possible for them to say like, oh, we're gonna release the PC too? I don't think that's possible.
I mean, yeah. Wow. Yeah. I haven't think about that. So PC actually has his own conference on E3, which is boring. Uh, Most likely the Xbox E3 conferences actually, um, there's games for PC and all that because most Xbox exclusives are coming in PC unless if they announce Halo, which is actual a console.
So if they're
Console
gonna release Halo, I want them to add local multiplayer back.
local multiplayer is needed because they totally mess up with Halo Guardians and Halo 5. It's a bummer, because I don't know if they did it because the Xbox didn't have the actual power.
Yeah, right.
I think that's BS. Another thing that I really want the Xbox to just bring back Skillbound, please. Like, oh my gosh, even though the game had issues and all that, there's just give them time. I don't know what was the whole issue inside because they tell us something and it just doesn't make sense when you guys tell us the excuse. It's just pure lies, guys. Just come on. At least a Japanese game on the Xbox. I mean, I don't hate any console. I'm a fan of all consoles, but my preferred console was always the PlayStation brand because they bring me what I want as the Japanese, as the European, as the US. They have variety there, but Xbox is lacking. Even though it doesn't do good on Japan, but you could see the 360 example right there. They had a lot of Japanese games there. Minute. It's something that even though first of all, it wasn't even successful in Japan either. The 360 wasn't even, really good in Japan because Japan has their own thing, just like the PlayStation 3 and 4. But please, give us a Japanese game, a really good RPG or hack and slash. I mean, but hack and slash and RPG being exclusive. That's what I want to see in your conference. I don't want Forza. Jesus Christ, stop it with the Forza. It's beginning to be like a Call of Duty already. Another Gears, please guys, like tell those developers to make something else. I mean, I like Gears too. I like Gears. Don't
I
get me
love
wrong.
Gears.
I mean, like, but look at Guerrilla Games. From a shooter game to Horizon Zero Dawn. That is the example right there of, a single player game or multiplayer game such as, that's been a really great problem right now with the Xbox being multiplayer only, but their multiplayer games are lacking so many stuff, flip-flopping here and there, like You know, guys, Xbox brand, multiplayer is not everything. Multiplayer could flip flop like any other game. They're not perfect. They're buggy. They're this and that. But if they actually try a single player game where you could actually concentrate on one console, a script, story driven, actors, engine, music, the score, something that will bring that actual audience to your brand, to your actual console, to your company, because you're totally missing out on really good story driven games. And I really hate that Phil Spencer today still like, it's multiplayer is the future. No, it's not. It's not like that. 2 years straight right now, and I can guarantee you that single player games are stomping multiplayer today. So I don't get what you guys think about of multiplayer versus single player. They're both good, but make a balance to your console. It's not always multiplayer. Look at Quantum Break. A lot of people bash on Quantum Break. I love Quantum Break. I have the game. I have it in physical copy. I love the game. It looks like a movie. Yeah, a lot of people like, oh, I hate movie games. I don't like my games to look like a movie. I'm like, but those games are actually fun. Like, you don't need to hear a little kid online yelling at you. You don't need to hear really shit stuff in the background when you actually on your headset. It's a guy like me who's 26 years old, who just want to play a single player game. I don't want to play multiplayer for a while and just enjoy the single player experience. You can make Quantum Break in a multiplayer game. You could actually make it half and half, just like for example Uncharted. They have multiplayer and they have single player. They do multiplayer their own way. They don't try to copy Call of Duty or any other shooter games. Look at The Last of Us, another good story-driven game, but it also has its own unique multiplayer. There's ways to do stuff over here, and I really want from this E3. I don't want BS. Xbox, like, I know what Nintendo and Sony are fine. But if you want,
Sony did promise us Final Fantasy VII.
No, that was Square Enix faults, man.
It was at the Sony conference. I'm gonna play.
I know, but since it's gonna be multi-platform, like Sony doesn't even really care if it's like, play it first on the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 6 whenever it comes out. Really, like, come on, guys, Square Enix. Oh my god. I know they announced it because it was actually in their conference, but that's because Square Enix didn't do a conference themselves. That's their problem. I mean, if you like, I still blame Sony because they actually show it, but I mean, the whole fault is Square Enix doing their own shit. I don't know what's going on in the company. It's a big, huge company, rich, billionaire, whatever you want to call it, but where are the games? Unless if they're allied with, Platinum Games, because Platinum Games and Square Enix have worked together, just like Nier Automata. That's a different thing. But when it's Square Enix and their own freaking developers inside their their studios, it's becoming a really big of a drag, man. Look at Kingdom Hearts, for example. Like, dude, I've been waiting that for the PlayStation 3. They said like, oh yeah, it's coming on PlayStation 3. You know how many kids, teenagers, adults been waiting for that? even kids and teenagers and adults who've been, I don't know where the hell they are right now. Maybe they're dead. Maybe they're uninterested in gaming. They're grown ups already. I don't, you know, your audience right now. The It's funny when you think these things, like your audience right now is so desperate that if you actually f up this time, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen with Square Enix, because I love Square Enix. Don't get me wrong, but they're beginning to be a biased, because they try to make excuses and delaying their stuff for no reason. I don't know what's going on inside, you know, and I know it's really hard to develop a game, but I mean, there's other companies also, you know, there's competitions everywhere. But
Yeah, but someone who can compete against Square Enix, you're not gonna find anybody. Like in the RPG department, they have it cornered basically. Like sometimes there's other studios who, yeah, they can release good games, but let's face it, if Kingdom Hearts 3 came 20 years after today, if it came in 2038, we would still buy it.
yeah, totally, I totally agreed. But look at Bandai. I mean, they're gritty too, but they're still making good RPG games, just like Tales of series, and those are really popular. I mean, they have their own, you know, audience. Because there's also people that like RPGs like Shining or Persona. There's also RPGs, you know, like the Final Fantasy series. Let's just say it like that. You know, I know that Final Fantasy VII has been a really good boom, but they have been flip flopping too. There are actually really bad Final Fantasy VII spin-off games. So, you know, the competition, as the Japanese way. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna talk about the Japanese, because Bandai right here, Bandai and Namco, but mostly Bandai, uh, are making really good games these days. Even though they're kind of greedy in terms of, you know, the fighting games that they do, such as the Naruto and the JoJo's and the freaking Dragon Ball video games. The Dragon Ball Fighter Z is really good.
But that wasn't Bandai or Namco. That was Arc System Works.
They published. Were they
They
published by?
did.
Yeah, but yeah, my point here is, I hope Square Enix comes back to do their own conferences. That's one. I don't think they're gonna do it this year. But because they're like this, it's because, you know, people been backlashing them, and they don't actually know who they are anymore. Like, damn, I really love like the Square Enix that it was before. I'm not saying that Square Enix is becoming a Konami. No, I ain't saying that. At least Square Enix has its own stuff, their own RPGs and their own fighting games, like Final Fantasy Dissidia. Let's say like that as an example. But make good games. I mean, same as I say with Capcom. Capcom has been flip flopping through all these years, but they managed to, you know, little bit, you know, coming back to what they really are, and I want that to be like Square Enix, you know, today. Like, I know they're gonna be a huge comeback when the Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, and hopefully it'll be good. Uh, you know, I really want that Keyblade War. You know, I really want it. So, but you know, with low expectations, you know, I love Final Fantasy series too. there's more from Square Enix. It's just not the Final Fantasy, and Kingdom Hearts series. There's also Star Ocean series. There's a lot of RPGs that they publish too. But yeah, it's something that E3 today, E3 today, it's becoming a little bit these days. I mean, instead of a good performance, is what they do every year, but bring us, faithful, you know, faithfulity, if that's even a word. Faithfulity. That's a new word, right? I don't know if that even exists. So. Does it exist? Faithfulity?
I do not think so. It exists.
Let's say that. Faith. It's faithfully, but faithfulity sounds better. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I want from this E3, and I hope for the best for every company, such as Ubisoft. I want that the sequel from, damn it, the sequel from. It's coming. Hold on. Good and Evil, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil, yes. Man, that looks amazing, and I hope for the best. They're taking a break from Assassin's Creed, and I'm really happy for that. And I hope for the best for them, because last year they were the winners for me, because it was really emotional. They did a really good exclusive for the Nintendo Switch, and they brought us the Assassin's Creed Origins in open world in Egypt and all that. I own the game, and it's really good. I haven't beat it because there's other games to beat too, but yeah, that's what I actually think, and my predictions and. For E3, is there something else?
I wouldn't say so. After E3, that might change.
Yeah, that might change. Anyway, if there anything else, I think this will be it for now, guys. Please check out Ekusairo Naito's channel. Yeah, he's been a little bit of hiatus, but he will actually come back. Ekusairo Naito is a really good friend of mine, so please check his channel. So, what else? So yeah, guys, please don't forget to favorite, rate, comment, and subscribe. This has been Zyberpunky
and Ekusairo Naito.
and I'll see you guys later.